I, the Dark Priest, have one mission and one mission only: rescue Legarde. I finally arrived in front of the Dungeon of Fear and Hunger. A 5-star dungeon? Okay. It was pretty hard to get to, considering that it was on top of a mountain and it took me almost a whole week to get whatever. I could have tried to go into the dungeon right away, but I decided to wait and talk with the reception. Until I realized that what was in front of me wasn't a normal person, but a guard from the dungeon. I was going to call for them, but it looked like they had seen me, as they started walking towards me at a brisk pace. I froze, but I managed to find my voice and said, hello? I am here to rescue Legarde, and won't leave without him. They looked at me and started laughing. Are you kidding me? The only thing you'll be able to do is to help yourself get out of this alive. That is the moment in which I cut off one of their arms using my short sword. I used my mana to make it glow, and that caused the other guard to be a bit shaken. As a result, I was able to put him down quickly with a stab to his chest. Yeah, Anki, sure you did. After some time, I was able to look at the situation I was in. I was just at the entrance and almost died. I needed a plan. I couldn't go into the dungeon with just my dagger. I had to improvise. I used the earth magic to cover the 2 dead guards as well as the entrance of the dungeon in case anyone came. Did we just block ourselves inside the dungeon? What? Whatever. I reached the torture chamber near 2 dark cultists. I was able to kill them in a way that made it look like a fight. Wait. I was able to kill them in a way that made it look like a fight? So you didn't fight them, but you made it look like a fight. Oh, that's weird, but I guess the Dark Cultists aren't the hardest enemy in the dungeon, so maybe that's what you intend? I decided that I should go into the dungeon, but I would not be alone. I created 4 of the rats and sent them in. They were able to defeat another guard and torture the torturer of the dungeon, but what really surprised me was that they defeated the knight, Dorga. Is that Darcy of Wish? I got so excited that I forgot that I was still bleeding. The wounds were not serious enough to cause any problems, but I would need to use my mana to heal them. So I used a Lesser Soul on a near corpse, went to the Hexen, and learned Loving Whispers, a powerful healing spell. I did that for a total of 4 times! As the cost of the spell was too high for me to do it more than that, I healed all my wounds and the wounds on the rats as well. Wait, do you have 4 rats permanently in your party? So you have a 5-people party in this moment at the entrance of the dungeon? That's broken! I left the dungeon with them, and I was able to take care of them in my room. Wait a second! Did you leave the dungeon? No! We have to rescue Legarde, you stupid program! But my mission wasn't still completed. I still had to rescue Legarde. Okay. I went back into the dungeon and tried to open the door, but it was locked. I went back to the Hexen and asked for the key. It cost me a lot of money, but I was able to get it. Okay. Now I was able to continue. I opened the door and entered the blood pit. When I got inside, I found myself in a giant pit. There were people fighting each other, with many spectators looking down. I heard a voice that said, "Look at that! He's trying to rescue his friend!" I ignored the voice and continued, reaching the prisons. The only thing I found was that there were only dead bodies in the cell. The other cells had guards. Oh, okay, something that is actually canon. There are guards in the prisons indeed, who all attacked me when I got close to them. I was able to defeat all the guards! You defeated all the guards! Okay. But I was surprised by the fact that I didn't have any kind of weapons. Just, their stinger. I went back to the entrance and used earth magic to cover... Are we blocking ourselves once again? You know what? I found a lever in one of the rooms and pulled it, okay? Please don't mess this one up. That made a tunnel appear on the other side of the prison, so I decided to go in. Okay, whatever. I will follow this, okay? It was very dark, so I cast an illusion spell on the rats and had them move in front of me. They were able to spot a yellow mage. We started dancing to cast earthing. I tried to use my sword to attack him, but the rats attacked him first. I mean, okay, the rats are very fast. He died quite fast, as he wasn't expecting to be attacked from the front. I reached a giant room with a big platform. Oh, wait, I know where I am. It was the Cave Dweller Village. There were many monsters in the room, and I couldn't get close to the platform. The monsters had all noticed me, and they were slowly surrounding me. I was able to defeat them with the help of the rats. I found a rope in one of their huts and used it to descend even more. I was able to get past the last level of the cave dwellers, but I got lost in the maze? I was able to defeat all the monsters in the maze, but I got lost again. Okay, I know how to solve this. I noticed a sword in a rock, and decided to use it as a checkpoint. I went back to it and tried to find the path. It took me some time to figure out how to find my way back to the entrance, but I managed it. Wait, not the we have to rescue Legarde! What is happening anymore? I was able to get into the tunnel that appeared after the death of the Yellow Mage. You know what? It brought me to level 7 basement, level where Legarde was prisoner. I was surprised to see that there was no one in the dungeon. I didn't see any bodies and there were only a few rats. I looked around some more and found Legarde in a corner. He was still alive. I freed him. He was in really bad shape and he needed a lot of healing, but I was able to take care of him and he was able to walk on his own 2 feet. You know what? I think we should give them a final boss fight, you know? Once we thought we were almost safe, a terrifying presence entered the room. The Crow Mauler, an incredibly powerful creature. It was huge, and had a crow-like body, but it also had a human body, with arms, legs, and a head. Its skin was black as the night, and it had the red eyes like those of a beast. Legarde tried to fight it, but it was no use. He was barely standing on his 2 feet, and the monster was more than 3 times his size. Okay, the AI is giving the Crow Mauler a good importance. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't even attack the monster, I would just die. The Crow Mauler attacked Legarde with its claws, but he managed to dodge it. I looked for something to use as a weapon, but I couldn't find anything. The Crow Mauler attacked again, and this time, Legarde wasn't able to dodge it. It was a fatal blow, and I saw the life fading from his eyes. The Crow Mauler looked at me and laughed. Its laugh sounded like the cries of a crow. But it had a human voice. It said, "Well, I didn't think that he was important, but it seems I was wrong. He has a strong will to live." It then disappeared, leaving only a crow behind. I was devastated by what I just saw. Alright, okay, Legarde is dead, so we can leave the dungeon, I guess. A person entered the room. It was a boy. He seemed to be around 10 years old. Wait, what? And he was carrying a large axe. He started walking towards me, but then he noticed the bodies on the ground, and he froze in his tracks. And no, I didn't misgender the girl. Wait a second, okay? He swung his axe at me, and I was barely able to dodge it. I was able to hit his arm with my sword, and he lost his grip on his weapon. He started running away and I chased him. Wait! You have to leave the dungeon! But then I stopped. There was no reason to follow him. The person I was searching for already died. I sat down on the ground and started to cry. The boy looked at me and he said, "You are crying, but the one who really needs to cry is me. I was just a child when I was taken here, and I lived in this dungeon for 12 years. You see why I used the girl for this one? I don't care if the AI called him a he. It's the AI being stupid in this case, in my opinion." I decided to go back to my room. I couldn't stay here any longer, I needed to leave this place, but I couldn't do it alone. I needed help, but I couldn't trust anyone. I walked around the dungeon for some time, until I found a boy. You know what? No, I'm done. Then I left the dungeon forever. After that, I went back to my room. I had decided to leave the town of Trest. I was too scared to stay. I spent my days in my room, thinking about my life. The end. Oh boy, this was terrible.